I went for the 100% in Slime Rancher, meaning I'll need to collect a total of 57 achievements by doing a variety of things like capturing and farming slimes, making thousands upon thousands of cash, to even questioning why I had to do this specific action for an achievement. We play as Beatrix LeBeau, a rancher who has set out for a life 1,000 light years away from Earth on the far, far range, where she tries her hand at making a living wrangling slimes. Firstly, I get used to the introductions, such as the backpack. This can vac things up and store them, in which I do so by capturing a pink slime. This grants me a Slimepedia entry, where I can read all about the slime, such as its favourite food, risks, and in general what it does. I shoot it through the corral barrier on the ranch, and it's safely inside, unable to escape for the time being. I wander around the ranch some more and find a pink plort produced by the slime. Heading on over to this machine, it is called the plort market. Here I can cash in a variety of plorts for new bucks. Interestingly, the market changes each day, meaning it could be sometimes better to save our plorts for another time, as I'll be needing to earn a lot of money for achievements and upgrades, such as these ranch expansions. I hear a chicken on the ranch and decide to vac it up. It's a hen. There are a variety of foods like fruits, veggies, and meat that are used to feed slimes. The pink slimes can eat anything, so I fire the hen at one, which produces a plort. And that is the fundamentals. Now it's time for me to go out and explore by leaving the front gate. The first thing that catches my eye is this floating H. Interacting with it tells me their notes from the previous owner of the ranch, Hobson. There'll be many going forward which will be important for an achievement in the future. I then see a bunch of pink slimes to my left, as well as carrots and pogo fruit, which I take back to my ranch and unlock my first achievement for shooting food into an airborne slime's mouth. I also set up my first farms, allowing me to passively grow the food. Returning to explore more of the land, I would find my first Largo slime. These are hybrids of two slimes. It occurs when one eats a plort unlike its own. As they're too large, we're unable to store it, but we can keep it on the nozzle for the time being. These types of slimes will be extremely important for money making. Eventually, nighttime would fall and I would find two new slimes, the Tabby and Phosphor. The Phosphor is unique as it can only appear at night and then it will fade when exposed to sunlight. I return to the ranch and open additional corral to store the Tabby. I noticed I can upgrade these corrals in several ways and noticed the solar shield, which is vital for keeping the Phosphor alive during daytime, but for now I keep them stored in my backpack as I do not have the funds to upgrade. Settling the tabbies into their corral, I accidentally unlock an achievement for letting one of them headbutt me right on the nose. I then unlock another for jumping into a corral containing at least 40 slimes. A notification pops up that I received a star mail. This is essentially the story of the game and we'll need to be checking this regularly to progress it on. However, this one talks about the Range Exchange, which is a network of other ranchers who trade together, basically side quests. I give them items for their items and I'll have to do several of these anytime they appear. During my adventure out of the ranch, I noticed an unusually large slime, a pink Gordo. These Gordos have the same diet as their normal counterpart. I go gather more food after running out, and after enough, it bursts and unlocks an achievement, as well as dropping a bunch of slimes, some crates, and more importantly, a slime key. With that slime key in hand, I would take an alternative path that I hadn't taken yet, where I find a locked door. And by using this key, I unlock an achievement, followed by another for discovering the Indigo Quarry for the first time. I would find two new slimes here, the Rock and Boom, as well as encountering the Tar. The Tar are Largo slimes who have consumed another plort that is not one of their own. This turns them evil and begin to consume other slimes around it, so I back it up and shoot it off into the distance. Returning to clear my inventory to collect these new resources, I encounter a new slime that I'm unable to collect. Unfortunately, it disappears. What I didn't know is that this slime would be important for a future achievement. After getting the new slimes, I begin to create Largos of my own, between the Pink and Rock, as well as Tabby and Rock. I keep the Boom slimes for now as they like to randomly explode. Feeding them their food, I would get plorts of both types and sell them at the market, which unlocks an achievement for selling 100 plorts. I then unlock Up All Night for staying awake from 6 AM to 6 AM the next day. I upgrade my ranch further with more farms and corrals, this time adding a variety of vegetables and fruits, plus the Boom and Rock Largos to generate even more funds. At this point, I would need a lot of money to continue the upgrades, so I went exploring and found two more Gordo slimes, this time being the Tabby and Phosphor variants, meaning I'll need meat and fruit to feed both after consulting my Slimepedia. Luckily, I have a fruit farm going back on the ranch. I also decided to take on another side quest as it rewards rewards me with 500 new bucks, which conveniently unlocks the achievement for earning over 5,000 of them. I was growing the veggie heartbeat, as it's a favourite food of the rock slime, and by feeding them to the largos 50 times, I unlock an achievement. After having a look at the achievement list in game, I noticed fireworks, which was to shoot a boom slime largo into the air that explodes before landing. You can kinda notice the fire burning within the slime, and with the right timing, I unlocked it. On my way back, I would encounter the rare gold slime. They're easily startled, but it leaves behind a gold plort that is worth a lot of money. I vac it up with the blink plorts and unlock an achievement for collecting 50 plorts in a single day. More money at my disposal, I can upgrade my farms in a variety of ways, like high walls to prevent them from easily escaping, to auto feeders and auto collectors, those two being extremely important for some automation on the ranch. I also got my first expansion, giving me more building slots as well as upgrading my equipment, allowing me to store water, which can be used to fight back against the tar slimes. After collecting the plorts and the corral collectors, I'd sell them and reach 500 sold at the market for an achievement. Shortly after, I would feed the pink slimes on the ranch 10 different types of food. I then decided to enter my house as I had forgotten about a star mail. It is about the 7Z Rewards Club, and by paying 1,000 new bucks to join, I unlocked another achievement. These are cosmetic upgrades. The further you pay, the more variety you can add, from pavement upgrades to chroma packs. I went to deal with a variety of Gordos I had found. This would cause a new area to become accessible by a teleporter. Here I'd add a new slime to my ranch, the puddle slime. They require a pond to be built compared to your typical corral. They also passively produce plorts, making them low maintenance. I took one of my new slime keys and went deeper into the wilderness where I found another locked gate, this time discovering the moss blanket, home to two new slimes, the hunter and honey, whose plorts will be very useful going forward. Returning to the ranch once again, I deposit the goods and upgrade myself with a jetpack that would be very useful for traversal around the map, as it turns out you can walk on a lot of odd surfaces. I'd go deeper into the quarry by doing so, and encounter another new slime, the rad, in which I can get an achievement by standing inside its radiation aura for at least 15 seconds. Deeper in the area, I used the jetpack to access a cave that housed yet another new slime, the Crystal, who routinely create large crystals around the environment that can do some damage, but into the backpack they go. I then stumble into the ancient ruins, noticing this one slime statue is glowing and several others aren't. It turns out I need to find the respective plort of each one and place them within: Tabby, Rock, Phosphor, Honey, Boom and Rad, in which I have all these slimes at the ranch and will need to take the plorts over. Back at the ranch, I would do some general maintenance of not only getting the plorts, but adding another farm, which unlocks an achievement as I had 3 different veggie gardens at the same time. With so many plorts to be collected, I sell them for 2 more achievements, one for selling a total of 1,000, and the other for earning 5,000 new bucks in a single day. I then kinda forgot about the ancient ruins and worked more on the ranch by adding a variety of food to get the benefits of a slime's favourite. I also combined those slimes to make more largos, such as Radiation and Crystal, to Phosphor and Honey, as well as taking on more delivery quests, where I would earn over 25,000 new bucks for an achievement. I had so much money, and it was time to buy the lab expansion, costing me 10,000. This allows me to create gadgets, and they provide a variety of useful utilities, like the drill, pump, and apiary, which are used to get previously unobtainable resources. There's also teleporters and decorations, which we needed for the future, but as of right now, I make my first gadget for an achievement. The next one was to fill one of those side quests, and it was to be completed between 12 PM and 2 PM. I then created a tar slime far away from the ranch as I needed to hold on to one for 15 seconds. Another achievement randomly popped because I had set up an auto feeder with hens in them. It was for feeding 100 chickens to slimes on the ranch. Following up on the ranch, I would now have 3 different fruit trees at the same time. Eventually, I remembered about the ancient ruins and off I went with the plorts. The gate begins to glow and open, popping an achievement. This area is massive, so much to explore and many new resources, like the quantum slime who like to phase in and out of reality, as well as their favourite fruit, the phase lemon, which can only be obtained by giving it some fruit in return, after learning this information from Hobson. Exploring deeper into the ruins, I'd find a locked door. Luckily, I had a key on me, and just like before, I must deposit plorts in the statues to activate it. With a full inventory, I once again return to the ranch and do the usual, restocking food and selling plorts. But before I do that, I build a silo which is used for storage, and by upgrading it it fully, then depositing at least 50 units into each slot, I unlock an achievement. I then took 4 other slimes and went to the pond where the puddle slime resides, and placed them together, unlocking the pool party achievement for having at least 5 different types of slimes in a pond. With these other slimes, I made 3 different Largos, and placed them within the same corral, unlocking another achievement. I then sold more plorts for a total of 2,500, and shortly after took 6 different types of slimes and placed them in the same corral. After all those achievements and daily ranching, I would venture back to the ancient ruins with the quantum plorts to activate a mysterious gateway, taking me to the glass desert. I found a few notes from Hobson and met the dervish slime, who can create whirlwinds, meaning they can cause some trouble if they get agitated on the ranch. I also met a large Tangle Gordo, whose diet consisted of meat, meaning I needed to go back once more. I did find the map data for this area revealing a large structure up north, but decided not to continue. Instead, I went into a room filled with rock slime statues, so I need to bring their plorts as well as the meat to get Tangle slimes. In addition, I randomly met a Party Gordo, who only spawns on the weekends, which is convenient as it will be needed for a future achievement. Then suddenly the music and weather changes, sounding like something bad is going to happen, so yet again I return to the ranch to get resources. This time I would unlock several achievements, such as upgrading the corral, silo and coop to their maximum potential. I think this is the first time I'm mentioning the coop. It's for producing chickens. Selling more plorts that had been collected during my travels, I would earn over 100,000 new bucks. Then by using this money, I'd get more upgrades from the 7Z club, specifically the chroma packs, and by changing my house, tech and vac to different colours, I unlock an achievement. Remember the intro how I talked about a questionable achievement? Well, here it is. I had to build an incinerator on the farm, which is used to easily dispose of items, as well as house a new slime I forgot to mention back in the glass desert, the fire slime, who randomly appeared when a heatwave struck the desert. Anyhow, this achievement had me getting a poor adorable chickadoo and send them to a fiery end, in which I am now destined to go according to the description. I gather the rock plorts and make my way back to the glass desert and give them to the statues, which causes this fountain to produce water, specifically ancient water, on a timer. Having noticed these plants from before, I splashed the ancient water on them, granting life back to the glass desert. The achievement wasn't lying about granting life back, as various slimes appear as well as fruit that I'll be taking back with me, these being the mosaic slime and prickle pear. With the map data previously obtained, I head up north using one of the slime keys and follow the path. I would find several notes from Hobson detailing his reasons for the ranch, and by interacting with this last one, it unlocks me an achievement for discovering where Hobson's journey ended and once started again. I then decided to go jump off a cliff for an achievement for knocking myself out before 10 AM. After the discovery of Hobson's note in the glass desert, it would somewhat lead to the next achievement, a story related one. Remember the star mail? I've been periodically receiving them from Casey, who is special to Beatrice, usually talking about their time together. After checking the mail and leaving the house, it would trigger the end credits. With both subtle main stories completed, I only had to focus on the remaining achievements, such as repeating the same fiery end for an elder chicken, who doesn't get the same level description as before. Then with all the variety of slimes I had, I created 10 different types of Largos on the ranch. I then actually had to go AFK for this achievement, as I needed to return to the ranch after more than 24 hours, but it wasn't put to waste as I had a variety of gadgets getting resources, which is important for later. After those 24 hours had passed, there was lots of plorts to collect and sell, in which I had now sold 5,000 of them. Just outside of the range there are a lot of slimes that spawn, and by occupying my backpack with other materials, it would create a stream of slimes unable to be collected. By constraining more than 15 slimes, it would unlock an achievement. Spending more money at 7Z Club, this would unlock me a vending machine containing a variety of toys for the slimes, and buying 10 different types gets me mint in box. Next up, I needed to craft a gadget, the Gordo snare, and by placing it down and adding some bait, specifically the roostro, it would grant a chance of a hunter Gordo appearing, and after several attempts, I got one. Following up on the gadgets, I created a slime stage where you can show off your number 1 slime, and by putting a tar on it, it unlocks best of the worst. I also created a slime ball hoop. I backed up a bunch of slimes as I would need to score 50. With my convenient placement of the machine and jetpack, I thought this would be a breeze, but turns out it moves and rotates, cutting it down to the wire for the achievements. These next two are for building 35 and 100 slime gadgets. It sounds easy, which it is, but you need a lot of plorts to craft gadgets, especially pink ones. So after doing various things around the ranch, I'd have enough plorts to spam one creation up to 100 times. The 53rd achievement I unlocked was to complete the Slimepedia, probably the longest achievement in the game as it requires you to discover practically everything and some of them require a bit of luck. We've collected a lot during this journey, from slimes to food and discovering new areas. There are some things I've left out, like the variety of chickens and other food that I have found. Remember those side quests I talked about? Sometimes these people invite you to their respective unique area and they have stuff for the Slimepedia. I visited the Nimble Valley to help collect Quicksilver plorts to get the data for the Quicksilver slime, then travelling to the wilds to collect a new piece of fruit and a slime that was once thought extinct, the Saber Slime. Finally, helping a scientist in the slimulation he made to capture glitch slimes. But we're not done with the Slimepedia just yet, as I had to get several resources from the gadgets. As it turns out, these gadgets could be pretty much placed anywhere. I had to place a few in the Moss Blanket and Glass Desert. There's some luck involved as they don't always produce the items, but placing multiple of each gadget nets me them quicker. There's still more though. I was lucky enough to encounter a gold slime previously, meaning I already have it in the Slimepedia, but there's another slime called the Lucky Slime, which I encountered relatively early in my playthrough. I've met this slime several times actually, but didn't understand how to capture it. Well, you can't. You need to have some meat on you to feed it, causing it to drop a bunch of money, as well as Slimepedia entry. Now, there were two more items needed for the Slimepedia, the first being the Gilded Ginger, exclusively found in the Glass Desert, though only 2 will appear a day. There are dozens upon dozens of spots where it could spawn, so I just ran about multiple times, but they're quite hard to notice. So I came up with the idea of creating a teleporter, meaning I didn't have to run back and forth from the ranch to the Glass Desert. Then this happened. Are you joking me? That is ridiculous, man. I built a teleporter so I can get here easier to find the Gilded Ginger and it spawns immediately. I mean, I guess the teleport is still somewhat useful. With one final item to obtain, I conclude the Slimepedia. Now, this Gilded Ginger was important for the next achievement, as it would make it significantly easier. I needed to find a gold slime and obtain at least 3 gold plorts from it, which can be done by hitting the slime with objects. However, they're skittish, and if you hit it, there's a chance they just bounce extremely far away. They also don't have a fixed spawn point like the Lucky Slime. They both just randomly spawn when you explore the world, meaning they're quite rare. The Gilded Ginger is its favourite food, and it would produce enough plorts for the achievement. Let's just say it took a while, not only to find the gold slime, but many missed opportunities. I got it twice, I didn't get it the 3rd time. I didn't want to fire the Gilded Ginger because there were just too many slimes. He just walked off the edge of the map. Please. Yes, yes, yes. And that was all the achievements done for the base game, as the remaining ones were tied to an alternative game mode called Rush, where you must earn as much money as possible while racing against time. Your knowledge of the base game is very important, as everything is pretty much the same except with the addition of Golden Gordos, who drop a bunch of slimes to farm their plorts, because you get given Gilded Ginger to feed them, and extended time when completing side quests. This allows you to easily upgrade your farm when trying to maximize your profits. You also get a bonus of 25 for selling each plort, meaning getting all the slimes is beneficial, and you don't really have to walk everywhere constantly, as you get given a few teleporters in the beginning to use. Surprisingly enough, I managed to get all 3 achievements on my first attempt, having sold 25 of each plort, but I had so many remaining Gilded Gingers and I couldn't find the rest of the Golden Gordos. I thought I would fail, but I scored over 100,000 points for the 3 achievements, requiring 10,000, 35,000 and 75,000. And that is every achievement unlocked in Slime Rancher, a relaxing and fun game. Should I try Slime Rancher too? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, why not check out a few other 100% playthroughs I've done? Thanks for watching.